What's up, guys? It's Rick Productions. We're here with another podcast, Make It Make Sense. We have Trey on the show today. What's up, Trey?
What's going on, my man? Glad to be here, bro.
We're going to dive in deep with Trey today, and we're going to ask him a few questions. Very interesting guy, content creators coming from New York to Los Angeles. Very interesting. Now, please, guys, go ahead and hit a like. Go ahead and give us a comment and share this video. We do a lot of effort into these videos, and it's really just for you guys. So please, give us a thumbs up. And yeah, let's get into this podcast, man.
Rick, I got to tell you right now, bro, your set is phenomenal.
Dude, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate the comments because there's days where like I come here and I'm just like, am I doing it right?
Oh, yeah. I be questioning myself that a lot. Like, it got to the point where I've honestly cried to myself. Like, did I really make an investment into myself correctly? Because everybody is like, when you surround yourself with people in like a community that sticks with a norm, and you're trying to get out of that norm, it's like, who do you lean on to? Who's your guide, right? So for you to say like, do you question yourself, you're doing things right? You're never going to know until you see the results.
Yeah, that's great. That's good.
Yeah. And I feel like instead of looking for other people to provide that confirmation, you are the trailblazer. And I've realized that. Like, those who take on a path that's not common are the ones that can be the deciding factor whether or not what you're doing is right, what you're doing is wrong.
Dude, yeah, and those who take that path, there's a lot of judgment behind it, huh?
Oh my God, yes.
You're doing something different. So it's just like people are always gonna they're always gonna be like, oh my God, about anything that's different out of the norm or anything.
Yeah, and what's crazy is it's always the people that actually love you the most that hurts the most, man. and and it's like I always thought it'd be stereotypical to hear that, but it is really true when you actually like take the steps into it. Like my family, I love them very much, and and this day we have a so much better relationship now than we did back in the day when I first started doing acting and videography, because it was more of like the questions, you know, like, okay, well, how are you going to have a sustainable lifestyle? Well, what can acting do to make sustain a family, you know?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about joining the military? All those things. And this is before I even went to college.
Wow, they're bombarding you with all this stuff, right? All this pressure.
Yeah, and me with no lack of life experience and just being ignorant to the industry now getting myself into, I had no justification as to why I really wanted to do this other than for the glamour or because it felt good. You know, I can't put felt good on my returns, on my taxes or anything like that. You know, I can't put it felt good, you know, not giving you a check for my rent, you know?
Yeah.
So I get their perspective now. Back then I didn't. The point I'm trying to say is that when it gets to explaining to people who are not creatives, you got to be as logical as possible to justify your reasons. And honestly, I'm at a point right now where it's like, if I have to go through hoops and ladders to explain something to you, maybe it's just not it for you to be in my circle for it.
I think that comes with like experience and age, right? You get to that point where you're just like, man, you know what? If it doesn't make sense to you, it's okay, you know?
Yeah.
I'm still driving this, you know?
Yeah, and it's like you said, I'm not going to be mad at you for it, but don't shoot down something that you have no knowledge of.
I feel like there's a lot of respect in between creators, content creators. It's kind of like when you're driving down and like if you're a biker and you see another biker and you're like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
There's already like this established community, right?
Understood.
And we're talking about those who actually like leave the typical lifestyle to pursue this because it's not easy, right? That's all they talk about. Hey, man, how do you want me to do this project for you when my camera costs $2,000, $3,000, $4,000? You know, it's just like it means a lot to us, which is why you hear it a lot from us, because we take this big leap, and it's just like no one got us really if, you know, we fall off that leap. You know,
right?
It's a scary leap, but you're trying to take a big leap yourself. You're from New York, right? You're trying to go to Los Angeles. Talk to me more about that. Why?
Because mainly for my acting career and for my videography business as well. So I've always had a yearn to go to LA. I got a taste of it back in like 2017 when I moved up to San Francisco for the military. And like every other month I would go down here to LA just to build connections, just to get my name out here. That's why I came here for. And so I'm coming back here now because I have a better understanding of who I am as a brand, who I want to be when I grow up. And so I literally have nobody holding me back on my decision to go out there. Who's going to stop me from making my dreams come true? No, it's me. So let me do it. So that's why I'm coming out here. It's like, okay, now you're a grown man. Now you have the knowledge. Now, what steps are you going to take to actually make that dream come true? And this is the process of it right now. I'm here to test my hypothesis. If Trey goes to LA, then he will be a successful business owner in videography, a successful, sustainable actor in the industry.
Nice. I love that. What do you have right now in motion to help you get there, to help you establish that business? What's going on behind the scenes with Trey right now?
All right. So right now I've made myself into a LLC. So I've actually literally just taken my name and made it to a legitimate brand for videography production. I can't let people invest into me seriously if I don't understand the business of it.
I love it. I love that. You know what? Rick Productions is now officially an LLC. I did start off. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
As of lately, yeah, Rick Productions is, and I realized that if you're going to be serious about your business, you have to be serious about, you know, how you present yourself. At first, I was presenting myself as just doing business as Rick Productions, DBA, so proprietorship.
Yeah.
And it's like once you start getting momentum and traction, you're like, oh shit, I think I'm doing this wrong. I had to go back and get myself an LLC because it's like when it comes to tax season, there's just so much knowledge that comes with doing what we do. Yeah. Whereas a typical like 9 to 5, you don't really have to worry about like, oh, tax season comes, you usually get a return. But if you're getting into the business world, business owner, it's a lot of things that you have to kind of find out that that our families really don't teach us about, you know?
No, they don't. And it's like you can't blame them for doing that because one, they may not even care to learn that for their own lifestyle.
Yeah.
And also I learned recently that parents are still learning themselves.
Man.
So I can't, I'm now at a point in my life where I can't get mad at my mom and dad because they're still learning how to be mom and dad.
They're just human, just like us.
Yeah.
I have a little one and then it's just like, sometimes I stop and I'm like, wait a minute, he's 5. So I'm about my dad's age when he was, you know, like, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm still very young and like still trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, try to put myself in my dad's shoes. Like, you know what? Like, this is probably how he felt, you know? And we're here thinking as kids, and it doesn't matter how old you are, right? Mom and dad, you always look up to mom and dad, you know?
Yeah.
It gets to a point where it's just like, you have to be your own adult. Like you just mentioned, grab the steering wheel and, you know, you build your own road.
Just let it ride, man. Yeah. I want to go back with you on quick about that LLC process, man. Like this LLC has been successful in my eyes, in my expectations for the years been out because of the failure that I've experienced back in college. This is not my first rodeo.
Oh, no. Okay. So what were you trying to get into?
So my best friend and I, back in high school, entering college, we were trying to produce a music producing company. So we produced music and also music videos. Okay. But it was just more of the music side of things, right? And so we were called Fire Egg Studios. And I was like, yo, this is lit. But at the time, I knew nothing about the business. All I knew was about the content. My friend knew everything about the business, right?
Yeah.
So at that time, I was just being ignorant and just say, okay, let's just focus on our own paths, right? You just do business, I do artist work, right? Mm-hmm. Little did I know I was setting myself up for failure because now I've become
you take care of payroll.
Right. I've become ignorant to it. And there's no shade or nothing to it. I love him. He's still my best friend till this day. But I wish I had taken the patience to learn something that was uncomfortable because maybe Fire X Studios will still be alive today.
Yeah.
I failed at understanding what it takes to be in good standings. I failed to understand, like, I have to keep track of every money that comes into play and learn the language on how to even secure deals. And that's where a lot of artists like us now fall short for. We don't want to learn about the behind the scenes stuff. Let me be in front of the stage. Let me perform. You got
all the
to
cool
learn
stuff, you know,
right?
like,
the cool stuff that we already see, man. But that's just the surface level, man. That's the pie crust.
Yeah,
gotta learn more about it, man.
I get a lot of youngsters too. They like message me and they're like, "Hey, man, do you have some time to answer me some questions?" Yeah, okay. So I want to sell some merchandise, and I'm a creative myself, but when I try to tap into like places to sell, they want only vendors who are officially LLCs, licensed business owners.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, sounds like you're getting serious. Hit me up. Let's talk more about it. And then they kind of like lag it. And it's just like, okay, like how serious are you? You know?
Yeah.
It comes to a point where you have to be real serious in what you want to do. But I don't think I've ever met somebody that has a successful business who didn't try to like do other startups, you know, and failed at it.
Yeah.
So it's just like me, at some point I try to sell jewelry.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, until I realized that jewelry is expensive and, you know,
surprise.
Yeah. And like you had to have money to make money. And it's like, I wasn't going to dive into like the fake stuff because it just wasn't me. It wasn't my niche, right? Like, I'm like, nah, I don't think I could do this. But it's not until when you dive into the behind the scenes of the business that you like start realizing some things. You start realizing like the marketing techniques to even save yourself from making like mistakes and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, just with like any field, right? If you're a car salesman, you know exactly what to look out for when you go buy a car and whatnot. But you did mention something interesting. You said you were pressured back in the day to find your career path. And you just mentioned that military was one of the things that they told you to get into. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You said you did end up joining the military.
I did.
How was that for you?
Honestly, man, no more that I think about it now, it set me up to become a great man to understand the basis of life. But when I tell you I felt more of an outcast in a unit where everybody's supposed to feel the same, I never thought I've ever experienced anything like that. So let me explain. I left active duty and now as a captain in the United States Air Force. I'm now in the Air National Guard doing that part-time. So I'm blessed to still have my foot into the military side. But to get to your point, man, that experience, it was amazing. It was a lot. It was like you open your eyes to like, oh my gosh, this is what the military is actually about. You know, my dad, he's a retired Marine. So it was like, it's in my blood to like serve and protect my country, you know? But his generation of military work is obviously different from mine. It's vastly different. It's more corporate, man. And the reason why I said I felt more like an outcast in a unit where everybody's supposed to feel the same is because unlike other people, I chose to still keep my dreams afloat. I'll be working my military job by day, by night. I'm putting on my acting equipment. I'm putting on my video equipment. I'm going out there shooting. I'm going out there performing.
Yeah.
Most people are just going home, you know, they're with their families. That's fine. Right. But people who don't have families, they're just chilling, you know? I didn't want to be that. But I also didn't want to waste 20 years fulfilling somebody else's dream. I could be fulfilling that for mine. And every time when I talk to people about like what I want to do in my life, what my dreams are, one, they're like, why are you doing that? You're an aircraft maintenance officer. You need to be focused on managing planes and managing people. And it's like, it's ironic that I can't even be myself in a unit when everybody talks about being family in the military. When I'm out on stage, when I'm out with with a group of artists, videographers, whoever, I feel more alive in a small group of people like that than leading 110 airmen who all focus on one thing. And it's nerve-wracking to say the least at times. And it got to the point where it's just like, I can't do this. I cannot hold my dreams back anymore.
Wow, dude, that's super deep. I have a question. Like,
yeah.
A lot of people join the military to kind of like, I believe, to find themselves.
Right.
Sometimes they're lost and they like, you know, the military is the last choice for them. Mm-hmm. And it's not the same for everybody, right? Some people want to join the military for a variety of different reasons, but you would assume that when someone joins the military, it's because they want to be a part of something that's bigger than them. But here I am talking to you, and it's just like, I joined the military, but I feel like I'm made for something bigger than this.
Yeah.
And I've never heard anybody say it that way. That's crazy.
I say that because, like you said, some people go into the military to find themselves. Well, it took me 6 years to find out who Trey G. Riley really is. And Trey G. Riley is bigger than the United States Air Force.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you came out with your like Superman, and then underneath the uniform is the Superman uniform, content creator.
Yeah.
And it's just like makes me feel proud to be a content creator. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, because when I first started in the military, I was ashamed of telling people in a village of military people what I wanted to do. Once I started to figure out who I wanted to be, I became more confident. I didn't care. People would give me the certain looks. They're like, I don't know how you feel. Like I would look at them like, okay, and
you were in the position of leadership, so it's like,
yeah.
And you still kind of had to deal with that.
I really had to balance that as a leader. I couldn't just hide behind an office or whatever just to be your basic mechanic, you know? And I would envy the enlisted corps. You know, we as officers, a proper military officer must serve their non-commissioned officers, their enlisted corps. They are the bread and butter of the United States military. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's our job as officers to serve them, right? And so being in that type of position, I can't let my passion interfere with their lives at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is where it taught me about balancing of a leader. And honestly, because of that role, I'm able to learn how to be a leader in the entertainment industry, where a lot of artists are a lot more sensitive and a lot more outspoken than it is in the military. And so because of that, I'm able to see what that's able to do. I'm not able to interact with the enlisted corps as not in the military,
right?
But it taught me like, okay, where's my lane? Where do I draw the line? Okay, I could be there for you, but I have to set my boundaries. I have to take care of the bigger picture. So the point I'm trying to say in all of this is that, yeah, in a leadership role, I'm in a higher position. That means if things were to go wrong, I get the hammer on me first.
Yeah.
And it was, in a field aircraft, maintenance is like an everyday thing, man.
Yeah, you're just getting the hammer all the time.
Every time, man. It's like, I didn't even lift the wrench. Why am I getting hit with it, you know?
You just show up to work and you're already like, hey, Trey, come over here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Yes, it is. It's like, dude, before you even put your coffee down, Captain Rod, can you come to the office real quick? Something happened in mid-shift. Even though you were asleep, had nothing to do with it. Your team did this and you need to fix it. That would give somebody anxiety.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's anxiety every day.
Right. But again, it teaches me, okay, how do I overcome something like this? And if I fail, okay, I'll learn from it. If I succeed, great. Becoming a civilian now. Anything that civilian people have done so far, we can solve this. Believe me, we can find a way to solve this based on what I've seen so far, you know? And it's not to discredit people or anything like that. It's just that, to me, maybe because I'm just fresh out of active duty, the fact that that people complain about the minute things, to me, in my eyes, seem like, yo, you can really fix this if you just calm it down and take a look at it from a bigger picture.
I feel like that's what the military does, right? It eats you up, spits you back out, and it's just like you're ready for almost anything.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this though. Like, have you ever had 9-to-5 jobs prior to you doing Rick Productions?
Yeah, I've had several. I currently am working for the U.S. government, so I love doing that. I've always wanted to pursue a career in law enforcement.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So last year was the closest I've ever got into that position. So I had a little bit of a setback. I have a bit of a story. I don't think it's...
No, let me get this simple question.
I don't think it's appropriate for now, but it's just like maybe for a future podcast video. But I was almost killed in the beginning of the year.
Oh, whoa.
I found myself at like the wrong place, wrong time. And they fractured my the floor of my right eye. And then they fractured my nose. And basically, yeah, that set me back in like the fitness testing.
Yeah.
So I kind of just I just been trying to heal.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. I did do cadet. I was a cadet for a while.
Okay.
I loved it, man. Like as soon as I got in that squad car with the training officer, I was like, man, this is what I want to do.
Did they get you in like a high speed pursuit or anything like that?
Yeah.
Like,
So
word. Okay.
yeah. So there was a night where we were gonna do like the DUI detail, right? Mm-hmm. And we were assigned for that. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's gonna be an awesome night. It started to rain. So they shut everything down and they're like, you know what? We're just gonna do like a DUI operation.
Okay.
We're gonna just send the units that were supposed to be at that checkpoint. They're gonna be specifically looking for drug drivers at night.
Okay.
So I got in the car with two detectives, and I was in the back seat. And yeah, we did pull over a drunk driver, and then we continued on for the night. And I guess they got into a high-speed pursuit.
Oh, wow.
And dude, I loved it. Like the adrenaline was like sky high, and it's just like they were like they were pursuing a black SUV, right? Mm-hmm. And they were looking for like the license plates, and it was super dope. I don't know, adrenaline was up.
Yeah.
They had other departments get involved, LAPD, and then it's crazy because you're in the back of a car, and it's like, you know, I'm new, I only know some radio codes and stuff like that. I'm a cadet, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just as cool as I was wearing patches, a light blue shirt with patches, a bulletproof vest. I thought I was cool, right?
Oh, shoot. Okay.
And then and I had the department's radio with me, so that was fun. But there was not much I can do, right? But you'll just see like you hear all the radio chatter, and you're just back in the backseat like, what the hell is going on? Like I don't know the lingo just yet.
Wow.
And we get behind a black car, and then they're like, oh, I think this is it. And they read the license plates, and I think it had like the very first like three like letters and numbers of the actual car we're pursuing. And it was like the same make or model.
Yeah.
And it was just like, my heart was just like,
oh shoot, it's about to happen. Yeah.
And then you know, they're just like, nah, this is not the car we're looking for. I'm like,
it's like since you destroy a Call of Duty, I'm about to get the button.
Yeah,
like,
dude, I was in the back seat like, bro.
Hey,
like,
yo, oh my god,
like a 3D, 4D ride, you know, in Universal Studios. Like, whoa, dude, like, and then you just like, I guess they called LAPD, and then they were like, oh, one of the LAPD units just crashed, and I was just like, oh shit, like, it was crazy, like something out of a movie.
Wow.
And it's like we never made contact with the car. We were just listening to the direction it was heading in, and we were just trying to like, we were playing catch up.
Yeah.
But that alone was just like, whoa, it was
that
crazy.
is so intense.
I didn't know this until then, but the commander, the watch commander, called off the pursuit.
Oh, wow.
Because it was too dangerous. So I didn't know that they call off. I'm like, so you guys are just gonna let them get away? And they're like, yeah, for the safety of the public.
Wow.
And it's just like, it was a really eye-opening experience, that whole
It's funny that you say that, because from someone who's not in law enforcement, you see that, and it's just like, you're right there. Like there are people like on the 405 freeway just chasing this guy. Nobody's around. Just pit maneuver and take him out. But
it's so fucked, because it's just like, once you know that detail, I'm sure these guys, you know, like criminals know this. They're like, okay, anytime now, they're gonna pull back.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it comes to a point. I don't know the procedures, but I guess it comes to a point where you're so deep into this into like shit, that you know they're not gonna pull back. I mean, like, depending on what kind of crime you committed.
That's true.
But like, from what I heard from what the units were saying over the radio, that they had pursued this car before. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, wow, this dude's really just out here.
Dang, this is like, yeah. Do you think that they ever found him? Do you ever?
I don't know.
You should do a documentary on that.
I don't.
Like, I could definitely see you doing that, like Rick.
Man, I was in love with it. I was in love with it, but now it's just trying to find myself still. You know, I'm pretty young, I'm about to be 30 years old, so still trying to see if maybe that would be the perfect path for me or not. Yeah, but we'll see.
30 years old.
Yeah, I was about to be 30 years old.
Damn.
You know that the light bulb in the back of your head like turns on when you're about to be 30. It's like that midlife.
But so let me ask you this then. I've heard that when men reach 30, this is like the start of their prime. Do you feel like that's what I heard, like, because I'm low key feeling it. I'm only like what, 29 too, but but for you, do you feel like because you're getting close to your 30s or you're at your 30s that it's like, all right, now I know what it's like to be a man. Now I know I'm gonna boss it up. You know what I'm saying?
We got our guy Alfred in the audience, and he's going wild right now.
Hey, yo.
I think Alfred believes it is prime time.
My man, he's like,
yeah, tell this dude. I've been trying to tell this dude.
Hey, yo.
Alfred, man, I love having Alfred on the road when we're doing weddings, man. It's just it's never a dull moment with Alfred, dude. And it's just like,
I need to work with this guy.
Man,
he seems fun as shit.
Dude, this guy's awesome, dude. Like, there's never a dull moment with this guy. He's super funny. And we're always talking about, you know, personal things and stuff like that. And it's funny because I'll be telling him my stories, and he'd be like, Rick, well, like we're in the car and he's just like looks at me. He's like, Rick. I'm like, what? He's just like, you're a good guy. He's like, you don't got it in you, bro. I was just like, dude, take that, whatever you want to do with it and whatever context. But yeah, we can't really talk about that. But like we be having our conversations, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know what? Like in terms of prime time, I'm gonna tell you something. During COVID, maybe everybody felt this way during COVID, but during COVID, I think I was 25 pounds heavier. I was how many years ago now?
Like
3 years ago.
Felt like
so
10 years.
I'm 29 now, so I was about 26, 27 when COVID was happening, and maybe because like life was so dull, but I got so overweight and I was starting to feel like, what's my purpose in life? Everything's just slow motion. Everything's so boring. I didn't see a lot of friends because we couldn't, and I just got so heavy set, and I thought this is it. Like, I had a fiance, have a fiance. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking I have a son, living a married life. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is it. This is life. Like, this is where I settle down.
Oh, wow.
A few things happened over the years that kind of changed my mentality, and I started working out. Mm-hmm. I got into the best shape of my life a year ago. A year ago, I was the best shape of my life, and I felt so alive, and I felt like prime time, dude. And I'm like, whoa, like it's crazy how that mentality switched for me. How I felt like this was it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm old, I'm fat, I can't run, I can't do anything. I'm not attractive anymore. Like it all, but I feel like working out, has a lot to do with it.
Definitely, man. Because I'm in a phase right now. Like I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. Like I'm couch surfing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in a phase where it's like, okay, I'm gonna get to my dreams, but I need to figure it out. And because I've been couch surfing, I haven't had like consistency into working out. So I don't know if there was a memo being sent out during COVID about how to gain weight. Dude. But your boy was not getting anything at all. No. Like I'm just like, where is everybody getting weight at? Like
you lost weight.
Like, yeah, it really was. I'm like 139. What the heck? I'm like, how is this happening? But to get to your point, man, it's just like when you don't work out, even skinny people like me, you feel sluggish, man. Yeah. It is horrible. And I was like, it also messes up with your mental state of mind too, like you just said. It really does. I went to the gym recently, even here in LA, and I walked out here like, hey, yes, sir. I'm ready to create. Let's go.
You come out like, yeah.
Yeah, until I sit down and I still realize I'm still 141 pounds. But anyway, it's all about the work that you put into it. It's like, I don't know what it is. Some expert could say it, whatever. But the point of it all is, you're right. It definitely feels good. And I don't think it's just a man thing. I think it's just a human nature thing as a whole. Yeah.
I mean, you might be right about that. Like, as men, I guess, like the stronger we feel, the more fit we feel. It's just like the more confidence. More in control we feel,
Yes.
Honestly, like I worked out. And like was doing all these numbers and only to like almost have my life ended. And I'm like, man, all that working out only to like just be snucked on.
Yeah.
and almost have my life ended. But now I'm looking at it as in like, if I wasn't so fit, it would have been worse.
Can I ask you this question? I'm not asking to be stupid or anything, but you were close to death, if I understand, right? What was that moment like? Did you actually feel like you saw the other side, things of that nature? Like, what was the moments like?
It was nothing like that in that sense. Like, lights were out, but it was nothing like that in the sense. But what happened was when I went to go see my plastic surgeon, when I walked into that room, like the nurse was like, yo, like this is you? I'm like, yeah. And she was just like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like based off of your injuries, we were expecting a lot worse. A lot of people that come in this office with your injuries look a lot worse. And then the doctor was just like, yo, like we got to put a metal plate in your eye because your eye is going to sink in, blah, blah, blah. Your floorboard is broken.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I was like, no, like, is this a procedure I can do after shit gets fucked up? He's just like, yeah, but we suggest it now. The sooner the better. But then again, I realized that doctors in the industry, they're business people.
Yeah.
They want to put me under that,
Yeah.
under that chair, like under that light. I mean, they wanted to put me under, but I was like, no, like I feel good. I think I'm doing great. And sure, they did. They operated me to like kind of like for my nose and whatnot to fix a couple of things, but not for the middle plate. And after that, the surgeon was just like, yo, like, I'm gonna tell you, you're very like lucky that like due to the damages that you are in the position you are.
Yeah.
So I kind of had like this spiritual thing where it's just like the spiritual awakening was just like I felt protected,
Yeah.
And it becomes really emotional. I left the hospital. There was a dude asking for money. Like,
let me keep my whole wallet.
Let me get out some dollars. I felt like I owed it to somebody.
Wow.
I didn't know who, and it was just. And it's like it's when you're in these situations that like you realize that life just goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like anything could happen to you at any given moment. And I know it's like cliche, but it's true. It's like life just goes on. Like people that were there, their lives just went on like nothing happened. They continue living their lives. Like work was just like, are you coming in or not? Like, okay, we'll see you in a few months. Like, it's just, you feel like you start to have a lot of like, depending on the situations, I'm guessing, but you have a lot of trust issues. You start to see that like your mind starts messing with you. Like you feel really insignificant in the world because like I said, life just takes off without you. And then you kind of have to just kind of like learn how to crawl, learn how to walk again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a content creator. I almost lost my eyesight. So can you imagine like all that in the back of my head? Like, dude, like,
yeah,
it was bad. It was bad. But you know what? We're here today. So cheers to that.
Like, honestly, bro, let me.
Cheers to that, bro. Yeah. Cheers to that.
Honestly, that's a blessing to have.
Yeah.
This opportunity, even more so to just talk to you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it was bad. It was bad. I had a few friends and family tell me too, like recently, that like, hey man, like you're lucky.
Yeah,
you're lucky.
So, what did you learn from that experience? Like, how do you take that experience and put it into Rick Productions?
You know what? Soon after that happened, I started going all in on the studios, all in on the camera equipment, all in with my time at Rick Productions. Started taking everything like much more serious, and I felt that was a reflection of like what had happened to me was done in like pure hate.
Yeah.
So some people that knew about me and I didn't know nothing about them really. People that knew about me, what I was about, property owner, business owner, what I do on the side. I feel like what was done to me in pure hate in order to stop me. Mm-hmm. So I took that energy and I just multiplied it, man. Turned it around. Like people want me to stop.
Yeah.
We all get those, especially as content creators, we get those hate comments. We get a lot of judgment. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of friends and family that be like, why are you doing this? When are you going to get a real job? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's stereotypical as it is. It's really true, man.
I had my own family tell me like, oh, like, I have friends and family looking for a videographer, but we know you just do it for fun. You don't do it for like professionally. And it's just like, have you not seen my videos? Like,
right. Like,
like what?
Come on now.
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, like I have a $3,000 camera on me now. Like, you don't think I take this serious?
Yeah.
But it's just, it's one of those things where just like friends and family, it just, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, speaking of friends and family, you know how long it took for my own family to actually want to invest into me? I've been doing this independently for like 10 years. And last year is when now I'm starting to have my own family asking me for photos, videos.
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
10 years in the same roof. In the same roof. And now you want to say something now. Now you see my website, be like, oh, Trey, bang, bang. Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Dude, your quality is there, man. That's what attracted me. I'm like, dude, this guy's fucking awesome. And then he wants to collab. He wants to meet with me. Yeah, let's have him on the show,
Thank you so much.
I know quality when I see it, man. And you have some dope quality. And I know you still haven't capped off yet. I know you got a lot more coming, dude.
Like we said earlier, man, I don't feel like I reached my prime And I just feel like I'm getting there, bro. And I truly appreciate that. You know, I say this a lot when people, you know, talk to me about this. Nobody's obligated to do anything for me. Nobody's obligated to tell me, bro, happy birthday, give me these type of comments. I let my actions do the talking. And when I get comments like this interaction right here, I know that's genuine. And that's what I seek, man. And so I appreciate it.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna tell you the truth or something genuine like a stranger would. You know what I'm saying? We're completely strangers, and it's just like, we're like, hey man, you're fucking awesome, like this and that. I think it's, again, like the closest people to you that would be the most critical people.
And you know what? It's great that you said that. When new people join like different type of jobs or different types of things where it requires to reach out for people to reach certain quotas of the month. So let's say you're selling like credit or selling like products or whatever. Why do you think people reach out to strangers instead of their families? Why do you think people do not even like reach out to their closest friends for something that's brand new? They'll go to total strangers.
Yeah, I never thought about maybe egoistic, you know.
But it's the fear of disappointment from their friends and family. It's why people go to cold strangers. If I try to sell you something and you have no relationship and you don't like it, all right, whatever, that's fine. If I go try to talk to my sister or convince her to join my team or sell this product and it falls flat, it hurts a lot more. And not many people are able to fight that or learn that accountability, right? Or learn how to have that type of bearing when it comes to that emotions. And that's why I'm sharing that, because in all avenues, when you're selling products, trying to get people on a team or whatever, it's just a lot more comfortable to reach out to strangers more than your family, because your family going to hurt the most. At the end of the day, is what you just said, man. It tackles on a lot of people. And I didn't realize that until you become an entrepreneur yourself. It's just a lot.
Dude, I love it, dude. Man, really interesting topics, dude. Again, I want to say welcome to the studio. Welcome to LA.
Thank you so much.
What's the difference between LA and New York that you can just say?
Oh my God, yo! People here are so chill. They're so nice. You know, the right people. They're so chill. The people that I've ran into so far have been chill and nice.
Yeah.
And it's just so welcoming. You know, from what I've seen, it's just like, especially in the artistic world. Obviously, that's where a lot of people are here for. And so I've learned so many new ideas, so many new casting opportunities, things of that nature to help out.
So like, what do you think? So you're coming here for the artistic world, the creativity, the entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. What do people go to New York for?
So it goes to the same thing, but to me, I feel like it's just because of weather. I ain't got time to deal with that snow up there in the north. I am not trying to live out there, and it's very congested up there in New York. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got to pay tolls just to cross a bridge. I got to do that, twice a day? Oh, no, you're fine.
Wow, I didn't know that. I've never been to New York. So.
Don't go to New York. Just do it. No, just do what you need to do and get out. You know, that's just my opinion on it. But so my thing is, when it comes to like an actor, for example, actors, you go up to New York for the photography, but you also go there for the theater aspects. You want to become a successful theater, go up north. You want to become a successful artist in the film and TV, you come down here.
Okay, that's interesting.
But here's the problem that we're dealing with right now. This writer's strike affects everybody, regardless if you're in New York, LA, or even Georgia.
So you're saying the industry is not doing too well right now? Or?
It's not. And I chose a fine time to get out of the military to do this right now. You need writers to even get a story across. You need actors to perform the writing, and you need videographers to capture the visuals, right? Without the writers, without that foundation, you have no art when it comes to the performance of film when it comes to the performance and standards of film and television and any form of art. Now, art can be created however you want, but if you want that traditional style, you need the writers. And because of this writer's strike, it's hurting people like us and even you. What can I shoot if there's nothing written for me to film? Where are my actors? The actors are not on set because they have no lines to read, you know? So it's a surface level thing. But the point I'm trying to say is that this writer strike came at the worst time for creators. But it propels creators like us to be the new trendsetters of something better.
Okay, so it's like a revolutionary.
It is. It's a fight for one. Writers about time will finally, eventually get paid for what they deserve. The streaming platforms are the ones that are really messing up the process of what needs to be done for these writers to get compensated for their work. And so because of this outrage, because of this look, it creates opportunities for us to say, well, let's create the home for these writers. Let's fill in the gaps of what's missing. Rick Productions, Trade G Rally LLC. Let's create these studios to then finance what it needs and get rid of the people that are holding back what writers deserve. Like, how difficult is it to pay what's making you money? Like, that really what blows my mind right now. So this is the opportunity. If we don't capitalize on this strike right now and give people the chance to make it work, it's not going to happen.
All right, Trey. So I have a question for you, man.
What's
now
up,
that I
bro?
have you at Rick Production Studios,
This is very glamorous, by the way. I will say that once again.
I definitely want to host you again in the near future. So if anybody has any questions for Trey, comments, let me know, guys. We want to have him again on the show. Hopefully we can work together very soon.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, I really want to work with you, man. Let's get some weddings in. Guys, Trey is going to help us tap in more into the wedding industry. He said he has a lot of clients that need wedding videos done. So hopefully this is a start of something great. Right now that you have me here, do you have any questions for me? Any last final questions for me?
I do definitely have a comment, man. Like, please do not lose your humility and your kindness that you have, man. I pray that nobody takes that for granted. I want you to keep this energy because it's very welcoming. A lot of people can look up to you, if not already. And you are really one of the truest leaders that I've known so far in this group that is setting like a strong foundation for people like me, you know, to collaborate, to look up to see what the sacrifices that you've been making. And it's honestly great to know you more too. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, dude, I really appreciate that. On my way over here, I was just like, I was thinking to myself, like, man, what is the purpose behind all of this, you know? Like I said again, guys, go ahead and give this video a like, comment, please share the work.
Please do that.
We're doing this to give people a platform to share their stories, share their life stuff, and to network. We have Trey, give him a follow. Awesome guy, awesome content creation here. And yeah, I really appreciate those comments, man, because on the way over here, I'm like, dude, this is supposed to be fun, you know? I see myself like a bunch of gear just to get this show going, setting up. I have to take time out of my day. It takes a lot of effort. And it's just like, what am I doing this for? So I really appreciate what you just said. It gives me fuel to keep doing what we're doing. Yeah, and man. I know a lot more great things are going to come our way. So yeah, man, you seem like an awesome character. I believe Rick Productions want to see you, you know, and the team filming weddings together.
Yes.
So hopefully we could make that happen very soon.
We also got a collaboration on the way on IG. We're going to be working on that. Yes, sir. So
we've been talking about collaborating on Instagram. You know, Trey, he's really good at these reels with Instagram, so I can't wait to hop on a reel with him. But yes, we definitely got to get that done.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you guys again. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll see you guys soon again.
See you later, guys. Peace.